The answer, yes. The question, with 365 approaching on CM Punk's title reign, could he actually have a spot at the WrestleMania main event next year? What's going on, folks? As I said in the cold open, I'm going to tell you why, with Punk's year-long reign approaching on Monday, that he is hopefully, or in my opinion, needs to get the main event spot at WrestleMania. As far as the WrestleMania season goes, it's a big field coming. You know, Survivor Series is Sunday. Everything's starting to form. You know, you got Miz, who's on the way to becoming a babyface. The possibility of a double switch between Miz and Kofi Kingston, and what I mean by that is that the SmackDown that I think it was the one in England last Friday, where Miz and Kingston had a match again. Miz went to shake Kofi's hand at the end of the match, and Kofi kicked him in the face. Now you have a situation where The Miz is on the same team Kofi's in. So there's I mean, that match right now, as it goes, it should, you're gonna either have Miz turn or maybe Kofi turn. You know, I mean, Kofi's been faced so long, and plus, you know, Kofi and R-Truth are no longer a tag team, so they're on to their respective singles programs. But that's neither here nor there as far as this video goes. But like I said, Survivor Series is, in my eyes, the start of the road to WrestleMania. Not Royal Rumble, just the Survivor Series, because it starts. Survivor Series starts, and you could tell from last year's Survivor Series, Rock and Cena in that tag team match with Miz and Truth. You know, that's how it started, and that's how the ball got rolling. Punk beating Del Rio for the WWE title last year. Same time, Survivor Series. You know, it started from there. You know, and everybody said as soon as Punk wins that title, the imminent feud with Jericho is coming. So. But like I said, the imminent feud between Punk and Cena, Punk and Rock. I'm sorry, Punk, Rock, Cena. It's all screwed up in my head right now. But the imminent feud between Punk and Rock is you better get ready for it, folks, because it's gonna happen. Like I said in the last video, the promos between these two will be unforgettable, and you will not take your eyes, you will keep your eyes glued on that screen when Punk and Rock have promos together in the same ring. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be solid. It's going to be epic. But like I said, that feud is imminent. The question is, what goes after the Royal Rumble? Because Rock has that title shot at Royal Rumble. You know that Punk is going to retain at Survivor Series. Punk is probably going to retain at TLC. There's a possibility of a Punk versus Foley at TLC, to keep that rivalry going, or Punk versus Lawler. That possibility, even though, Lawler just came back, that possibility is there as well. So, who knows where that's going to lead. But Punk after the Royal Rumble. This is what I think, in my opinion. And maybe everybody else's, because Punk this past year has had the company on his back. I mean, yeah, Cena is the company guy, Cena has been doing the main events these past couple of months, and they left Punk on the back burner. But as far as the workhorse goes, Punk has been the workhorse this year. Punk has defended the title. Punk has retained the title. Punk has kept us interested. Punk's character has flourished this year. and there's no doubt that, you know, by the time Punk's career is over, that he's a surefire Hall of Famer. I know his career is, you know, multifaceted, you know, as far as, you know, different wrestling companies. But as far as this year goes, I think this heel turn is solidifying CM Punk as a big name in the company, a bigger name that he ever thought he had, you know. And I'm behind that. I mean, Punk busted his ass for years to get to the spot he's at, and now he's at that spot and he is delivering, you know. It has been a great year for Punk, character wise, match wise, everything, you know. So by the end of this year, everybody's going to remember CM Punk's heel turn and CM Punk's character development and CM Punk's association with Paul Heyman throughout this whole year. With Punk, he may or may not lose the title to The Rock. I mean, Rock has a busy enough movie schedule as it is. He has to promote G.I. Joe 2 very, very soon. In the next couple of months, you know. Who knows that Punk might lose the title to The Rock at Royal Rumble, but then get it back at Raw in the future. But a Punk Rock match at WrestleMania for the WWE title as the main event would just be, that's it. Punk said in his own words as well, there's only one thing that Punk has not done in his career, and that's main event at WrestleMania. And that might happen this year. It's a big possibility now because of Punk's title reign, Punk's legitimacy in the company as the top heel. And the title reign, you know. Yeah, everybody still remembers Cena's title reign for over a year, you know. But like, just like Punk, you know, everybody wanted to see the title off of Cena, just like people would like to see the title off of Punk. But due to Punk's title reign, we've seen a lot of things develop. We've seen the rise of Ryback. We've seen the association of Paul Heyman. We've seen, like I said, Punk's character flourish. His search for respect, his his assaults on Lawler in the past, you know, his assault on Foley before the Ryback incident, you know, it's just building and building and building for Punk. So do I think Punk has a shot at the main event spot at WrestleMania? I say yes. Why? Because of all those reasons I just showed you. And the thing about that is, if Cena's out of the equation and you just have Punk and Rock, that alone is going to get a lot of pay-per-view buys because it's Punk and Rock at WrestleMania. Just like there's going to be a lot of pay-per-view buys for Punk and Rock at Royal Rumble. Now, if it's a triple threat, Punk, Cena, and Rock, I mean, I have no problem with that. You gotta let the right guy go over in that match. I mean, there's so many things that could go between now and WrestleMania. You know, there could be a Cena Rock 2, you know, for the title. There could be a Punk Rock 2 for the WWE title. You know, Punk could hold it at the Royal Rumble. He could retain, you know. Their scenarios could go around anywhere. You could have Punk retain at Royal Rumble due to interference from Brock Lesnar. You know? And you could have Rock go on to feud with Brock, and then you'll have Cena and Punk for the WWE title at WrestleMania in the main event. There's a lot of scenarios. I mean, you could have Punk hold the title until Mania, and then him challenge the Undertaker. Streak versus title. Um, there's a lot of scenarios, a lot of scenarios going on. But I think Punk should have that main event spot this year. There's a lot of stuff going on around that title, but mostly on Punk's character. Because you can't have him have a year title reign, have him lose it, and probably not have him chase for it, and put him not in the main event. Because by the time Punk loses the title, he's still going to be chasing it. So you can't have Punk lose the title and take him off of the title picture entirely. You're going to have Punk lose the title and have him keep chasing whoever has the title. Yes, he's a heel, but heels do heelish things to try to get the title back. So for that to happen, Punk is going to have to chase the title to WrestleMania. And that's what I think they should have Punk do. Chase the title to WrestleMania, where he could really have that spot at the main event, and Punk could be the main event at WrestleMania. It's very... some people, it's like, it's not going to be that difficult, it's not going to be that easy to do that, And creative must have their minds jarred with WrestleMania scenarios, But this is my opinion. I think Punk should main event WrestleMania. Punk should be in the title match, in the last match at WrestleMania, because you deserve that. Punk deserves that much, especially the year that he's won, that he's had. Punk, the last 2 years that Punk has had, he deserves that main event spot. Like, when I was at WrestleMania this year in Miami, and Punk was the match before Rock and Cena, I was thinking, could he have enough steam to main event next year? And we've seen some up and downs from Punk's character as far as his face character goes, but as soon as his heel character kicked in, the shot became really, really big as far as his involvement at WrestleMania goes. So Punk's journey to the main event at WrestleMania is, we have a couple of months, but Punk's journey to the main event could be well within his grasp, And if Punk main events at WrestleMania, he's got nothing left to do. He's got nothing left to prove. He could leave on a high note. He could just retire right there, because in his words, that's the only thing he hasn't done is main event WrestleMania. And if he does that, it could be the end of Punk's career after WrestleMania, or he could do it for another 2 years and then retire, But it's very, very big, the chances of Punk main eventing WrestleMania now. With his year approaching on Monday, I really, really hope it's likely that it happens. And not because I'm a big fan of Punk, because I am, but because his work ethic is very, very beyond anybody's. Yeah, Cena has great work ethic as well, but Punk's, as far as this year goes, has been epic. So, and like I said, his association with Paul Heyman this year, and it's gonna be a huge WrestleMania season for Punk. It's gonna be big, and if Punk main events WrestleMania, it's just a topper on a very great Sunday that has been made over a year span. It's unbelievable to me. From Punk going from where he was at to the main event of WrestleMania, that's respect. That's hard work and dedication that a man puts forth to help the company move on and to help the company progress. So anyway, that's my 2 cents on it. It's been a very good year as far as, WWE goes. They had some ups, some downs, but hopefully creative could do CM Punk some justice and give him that main event spot. I mean, he deserves no less than that. You know, after this year, after the last year, he deserves that main event spot. So, yeah, this was a pro CM Punk video. Sue me. That's it. That's my opinion in a nutshell. So, let me know your opinion and let me know what your thoughts about this is, and just comment me, follow me on Twitter, and have ourselves a laugh, have ourselves a discussion of wrestling or anything entertainment particular. So, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. See you next video.